Come with me to the Evo Sports Expo in downtown Sacramento. This one-day event had all kinds of sporting events from powerlifting to strongman to skateboarding, high rocks, bodybuilding, and so much more. We had a press pass, so we're going to take you inside the event and show you that you can be healthy at every size. We're going to start off here with some bodybuilding. This is on the men's division. I believe this is classic physique, so think Arnold Schwarzenegger and Leo Ferrigno. We got some of the women competing as well. This was one of the highlights of the event. We also had an official United States Powerlifting Association event going on. This was one of my favorite events. Spent a lot of time here watching some of these impressive back squats. We had folks of all ages competing, from teenagers all the way up to some of the older folks you'll see later in the video. One of my favorite activities is weightlifting, so it was really fun to see some incredible athletes show out on this stage. As I said, there's women of all ages, from teens to late 20s and older. That's just an impressive back squat by this girl here. There's also some bench presses, but I didn't get that. There was some amazing deadlifts happening between 500 to 600 pounds and more. You see, even in this division, there's folks of different ages, and they were just moving some incredibly heavy weight. This guy was a coach for some of the competitors, and this fella here, Troy Redmond, who's just a beast. No wasted movement, no wasted action. I believe he was the overall winner of the powerlifting event, and I believe it was his first meet, so congrats to him on that. We also had some more Olympic lifting or CrossFit type events here happening, with some folks working on their clean and jerk. This was the Masters division, where folks 45 and older were lifting. You see this impressive clean and jerk by this woman here, and a couple others by some of the men here as well. There's also some kids competing in this as young as 5 years old, so really an event for folks of all ages and backgrounds, and just some really impressive athletes on display. One of the cooler events that was happening at the expo was the America's Strongest Teen competition. This was a weightlifting or strongman competition for athletes between 12 to 19 years old. Get to see them do a lot of the traditional strongman activities, deadlifts. This is the Hercules hold. I believe it's like 150 pounds in each of these poles. I don't remember what this event is called, but this was incredibly impressive, about 550 pounds. We saw this guy almost collapse from the effort. This was one of his competitors who took this walk for about a minute and a half of lifting 550 pounds. And we even saw some of the younger competitors. I believe this girl is around 12 or 13 years old, and she's carrying, I believe, 100 or 200 pounds, and she did it for well over a minute as well. This is another look at that Hercules hold, which I believe is about 200 pounds in each of those poles, and this kid carried it for close to a minute. So super impressive. Now we're shifting over to the CrossFit / DECA / High Rocks events, where folks are doing all kinds of activities like sled pulls, sled pushes, burpees, a ton of running. This was another event where you got to see a lot of that body diversity, where you had folks that looked super fit competing, some folks that looked like everyday regular folks running around, and it was super inspirational to see these people just giving their all and working really hard to compete in this event. This is also something that I enjoy doing, so again, it was really inspirational to see all kinds of different folks working these events, and I think maybe one day I'll be able to compete. Who knows, maybe next year. We also had a lot of combat sports at this event, so there was some point sparring boxing. You can see here some teenagers going at it. There were some really young Muay Thai athletes. I believe these kids were between 8 to 10 years old. They also had a full-on cage octagon where folks were doing jiu-jitsu and all kinds of other UFC, MMA type events. They also had a ring set up for some officially sanctioned Muay Thai events with judges, referees, officials, paramedics. This was the real deal, folks. We actually got to get really close to the ring and capture some amazing footage. I was actually leaning into the ring for some of this footage, so I got to get really up close and feel the impact of some of these punches and kicks. And of course, because these were officially sanctioned events, we had a winner declared at each fight. It wasn't just a sparring session. There was also some Muay Thai action happening in other places around the convention center. This was the 170-pound division, so another great fight that we got to witness. It wasn't just combat sports and weightlifting, there was also a skateboarding area. This was a lot of fun to watch as these guys were just having a great time, pulling off some tricks and just showing off for the crowd. It had more of a concert vibe as there was some live music and some rappers here as well, so this was a lot of fun to take a break from some of the other events. Last but not least, they also had a Rubik's Cube competition just to show you that athletes come in all shapes and sizes. This was a great event with thousands of people coming out, and it was just really inspirational to see, again, athletes of all shapes and sizes competing. And thank you to Evo Sports Expo for the press pass and the inside access. Hope you guys enjoyed that video. Please hit that like and subscribe button to keep supporting 4040 Vision Media and help us keep bringing you inside access to amazing events like this. Thanks, y'all.